All right, let's do our next mechanical drawing. It's the Geneva gear. So here's my library resource file open. Here's my design center open. Here I am looking at the open drawings so I can see everything. I've got my layers showing. So I've got my library resource file up and running. It's time to start a new file. There's the plus. I'm going to turn off the grid again. And I have to check units. I always check units. I'm decimal, inches, and I again think I might want more precision in that. Okay. There we go. I'm ready to go. So now it's draw the assigned mechanical part. Well, first I need to save this. I always forget. There we go. Save as. And this one's called Geneva gear. So there we go. It's my Geneva gear. Now I'm ready to go. So let's get some layers in here. I know I'm going to need the geometry layer. And as I look at it, well, let me bring it in. So here's insert. I'm going to attach it again. Attach my Geneva gear. And I'll just put it in here. There we go. Got it. And so I'm going to need some stuff later on, but I think it's mostly just my geometry layer. So, but I will have to draw some extra little things. So I'm going to bring in geometry, and I'll bring in my center layer again to do some extra little drawing on. So I've got my layers. I'm in model space. I'm ready to draw. And there we go. I don't think I need the hidden layer for this one, but what the heck, maybe I'll bring it in just in case I need it. So this is a very interesting drawing. I see the tips are really part of a round circle, and this shape that you see here has been cut out, and this shape has been cut out. So a lot of the dimensions on here are about the cutouts, where they go, and where the other cutouts go and how to make them. So I'm just gonna call attention to that. It starts with a big circle. This little symbol here means diameter. So that's the diameter, full circle. This one means radius. That means half of a circle. So I need to just keep aware of those. So here we go. Let's go ahead and start to try to draw this thing. So it starts with a diameter of 6, and I'm going to do that circle, center diameter. That's really important. 6.5. And maybe I need to move this over just a little bit, just so that I've got things as big as I can get them. There we go. And then I know what I'm going to do, I see that this happens over and over and over again. So I'm going to draw this thing, and then I'm going to do a special copy command. I could do copy rotate, but I can also do an array, which will copy it all the way around. So this is the array command, rotating the array. Okay, so I'm just going to draw one of these. So I'm going to draw this line, and I'll draw this one. And these lines are 45 apart. I'm at 45. So I can draw a line from the center. Let's see how my O snaps. I think my center is on. That'll probably be good. If I touch here, the center shows up. I can draw it as far as I want, but I'll just draw it out to that spot. That seems like a good thing to do. And then I can draw this shape and this shape. So this one looks like there's sort of a circle. There's a circle there, and that circle has a radius of 0.5, and it lines up on a diameter of 3.25. So here I go again, 3.25. A lot of learning how to read these drawings. And then I want to find that spot and draw a circle with a radius of 0.25. Circle radius. .25. Now where those two intersect, this is a cool command. It's offset through a point. I'm going to take that and offset it through that intersection. Then I'm going to do that same thing down here. I'm going to do my circle 0.25, and I'm going to do an offset through that point. See, I just found that line and that line. Let me trim away what I don't need now. I don't need TR for trim. That's kind of cool. Let me trim away. Well, I'll leave that part, but let me trim away that and that. Cool, and then I can trim away this part. Do you see how this shape here now looks like this shape? That's kind of cool. If I want to, I can trim away this little part and this little part. I can trim these away just to make it really obvious how it's looking. There. Now I just need to find this thing. Well, that says it's a circle cut out, and the center of it is 4.228 away on 22.5. So here we go. I'm going to go from here. Now I need to have this set for 22.5. See, that's a common angle. And my length is 4.228 along that. And now I have a radius of 1.328. Circle radius from that spot, 1.328. I'm just typing it in. And now again, I can trim away what I don't want. Let's put this shape now onto the object, the geometry layer. So I'm going to take those, and I'm just doing my selections in order. put them onto geometry. If I turn my line weights on, wow, that's cool. I make sure my line weights are set for inches. They are. Okay. I did something wrong here. I didn't do a good trim. There we go. Just taking care. Okay, here's the array command, and I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. So the array, I'm going to take a polar, that's a round array, select the objects. I'm going to go left to right with my box, so it gets only everything that's all the way inside of it. Select enter. It says find the center point. It's going to be the center of that thing. And then this whole new thing comes up, and I'll make it 8 of them. And then just click and one. Look at that. That looks nice. That's so cool. And then I have a little bit more work to do on my shape. So I see a diameter of 1.75. So let me make sure my circle says diameter. 1.75. And then another one with a diameter of 1. Now here's something that's non-standard. This keyway, that is not how you call out a keyway mechanically. But we're going to do what it says rather than follow a special standard. So it's 1/4 wide by 3/16 high. I can draw just a thing. 1/4 wide, tab, 3/16 inch tall. Watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to go through some steps here. I'm going to move those so the center, come over to my O snaps and do midpoint. The midpoint is on the quadrant. Let me make sure my quadrant. Remember those 4 corners. And then it doesn't quite match up. And here's where your line weights can be kind of problematic. So now I'm going to move that down so that it hits. I'm going to trim away what I don't want. Now I've got it. And at this point, I can go ahead and turn off my center lines. There. I've got my cool shape. I should save this before I get going much farther. Save. Oh, I'm in the middle of a command. There we go. Okay, so that's draw your part. Remember, now we're going to apply our other industry standards. So I'm going to need a couple of new layers. I need dim text. Hold my left mouse button down. And I need no print. I need some layouts. I need a mechanical B-size layout. When I go to mechanical B-size, I need to make sure I'm on the no print layer. Click my layout button and make a rectangular viewport. Doesn't need to be that big. Probably that will be fine. Go to my model. Make sure it says it's 1:1 probably. Pan it over until it fits nicely. It looks like all my dimensions will fit okay. 1:1. It's centered up nicely. Lock. Go back to my paper. Back on the Home tab. Go to dim text, and I'm ready to start applying those dimensions. So I need a dim style. Let's take a look and see what dim styles there might be. I see 2 decimal places. I see 3 decimal places. I see the angles have 1 decimal place. And I see 3. So I need 3 and 2. I need mech XX. And I need mech XXX. And I have to make sure that my angles are matching up with that. So let me go check really quick. If I do one of those angles on, say, mech XX, let me look and see how it's going to come out. It's only going to have 1 decimal place. So I need to change it to, or 0 decimal places. I need to change it to 1 decimal place. Then I'll be able to do those. Now it doesn't have to look exactly like this, but I can do that. I'm going to put a center mark right there. That's the first thing I'm going to do. That shows up on your annotate button. Center mark. Click. Isn't that cool? Now that's a pretty big center mark. So, I see that I was on standard. Let's go ahead and set myself up on mech XX. Center mark. So if I want to change that so that it's not as big, I'd have to go in and change that from a big center mark. Well, that should be putting a small one in there. So I'll go ahead and just dimension that. I'll just bring those down. I just want them smaller. I'm going to explode that. Take those away. But now I can center mark one of these. That's kind of cool. Now look at how some of my dimensions come out. This first dimension is called aligned, and it goes from that center to that. And it says 4.23. That should be on mech XXX. 4.228. And then when you put your radius dimension on here, doesn't quite look the same, but that is how you do it. And that one should also be on 3 decimal places. Isn't that cool how you can do that? Now the rest of them, I think, are pretty well set. Okay, so I can do a center mark here. Oh, let me do another cool one. Okay, I'm going to now put a line check this one out. Shift right click, midpoint between 2 points, 2 lines. Sorry. From a space, midpoint between these two, to a space, midpoint between those two. Isn't that cool? So now I can put my 45-degree angle on here. and I can put my 22.5 degree angle here. May need an actual line there. So it needs a small little line for me to actually go to. Let me just put a small line right there. Okay, so there I've got, you can see I'm getting most of it generated now. This one is linear from here to here. So those are all getting set up. Okay, might need to move this one to be a little bit more standardized. Let's put this one about here. There. It's actually more of a standard type thing. Let's move this one out a little bit. Move this one out to match. And now it's cleaning up. All right, and then you can get all the rest of them on. Remember, I want you to go to the blocks and put in the general notes, left click. Drop your general notes in, and there you go. That's it. That's your Geneva gear drawing. You have to finish up all the rest of the dimensions. But I think I've got all the ones that look just a little bit different than the old style that our original plate was.